welcome to Neophyte.tv, the technology show for the not-so-geeky. I'm Heather Driscoll.
And I'm Ben Friedman, and today on the show we're looking at this. This is the Vizio Tablet.
Vizio? I didn't know that they made a tablet.
Well, you know, up until about 3 or 4 months ago, the only company you ever heard of with tablets was Apple. The Apple iPad, which starts at $500.
Right.
And then just a few weeks ago, there was the big Amazon announcement that their tablet would be $199.
Wow.
Very inexpensive.
Yeah.
And that's about the same. Actually, well, how much? This was a little more. So like $299.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still a good deal, though.
Yeah. Although I would imagine,
it's like,
I bet you that, you know, come Christmas time, this will be cheaper.
Right. I mean, but at this point, it's still like 50% less than the iPad.
It is still like 50% less than the iPad.
And I had no idea that Vizio, I mean, other than televisions, I had no idea that they made a tablet at all. So now, this is actually a cool one.
Before we get into this, do you see the clouds that drift by?
I saw that.
Before we get into all the tablet-y stuff, let's talk form factor. This is smaller and lighter than
tiny.
the iPad.
It's 8 inches, so it's a lot smaller, actually.
And you've handled an iPad.
Yes.
Do you miss that size? Do you like the smaller
I actually liked that it was small. It didn't. It feels
too.
larger than the 8 inches that it is. So you actually forget that it is as small as it is once you're using it and once you're looking at it. It feels good in your hand. It would actually be great for kids because it's smaller.
Yeah. And great for kids because you're not giving them a $500 or $600 device. You know, this is
just a $300 device.
Well, and again, I bet you that'll be coming down now with the
Amazon
so too. And everything. Now, Vizio makes TVs. They're one of the most successful TV manufacturers out there.
Yes.
Compared to the iPad, so this is first of all, you know, a year or two back, again, Android didn't have all the great apps that you could get on iPad. But now every app that I have on my iPad, I went to see if I could get on here.
Right.
You know, Facebook, Twitter, all the big guys. You know, other ones like Evernote and IMDb and what have you. And there was actually, again, this is really my first experience with an Android tablet.
Me too.
What's interesting is, like, on the iPad, there's only one email app, the one that comes with it.
Right.
And that's it. Yep. Here, there's like 5 different email apps you can get.
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of the point when you're using an Android device, that you're not married to a specific set of Apple apps.
Right. So, for instance,
the variety here is good.
Here's the calendar app. It's probably a bit too bright to see on the screen, but here's the calendar app. If I angle it down like that, you can see it a little. Called Jorte. It's free.
It's different. And
it's way better than the built-in one, and way better than the iPad one.
Right. You do have options. But there's a couple different things that you have to get used to if you've been using an iPad before this. You scroll up and down on the home screen versus left and right.
Yeah, that's true.
That is different.
Unlike the iPad, you can get 5 different home screens. You can buy a different home screen, one that goes left and right if you want. So it's way more customizable than an iPad.
That's true.
But I think the opposite side of that is it's not nearly as easy to use.
That's what I think. I had just a bit more trouble getting used to it, which obviously, had I had this for 2 more weeks, you know, I'm sure it'd be no more problem.
Right.
No more problem. No problem at all.
It's similar to a Mac versus a PC sort of argument.
Totally.
Macs are easier to use than PCs.
Totally.
But you have to use it the Mac way. It's not nearly as customizable as a PC.
I think for watching video, which is something that Vizio obviously does well, this is perfect. So it has speakers that move depending on which orientation you're using.
Yeah,
so
it has like 3 speakers.
That's great.
So when it's this way up, it's 2 speakers here. But when it's this way up, it uses 2 speakers here.
And that's great.
It is pretty cool.
I mean, no one else does that.
Yeah.
So I like that part as far as just using this for entertainment. And then also this can be used, you'll have to explain this part to me because I did not test it. You can use this to operate your home theater.
You can. So it has it has a thing called remote. And I have a TiVo, so it doesn't work with this TiVo.
Okay.
But if you have a Vizio TV or other TVs, you can actually launch this program called Remote. Let's see if I can find it on here.
And then that will control your system?
And then use it as a remote. Yeah, it has an infrared sensor on here. Where is the remote? Here is remote control. I don't know if I have it set up.
So it has like...
Yeah, here it is. So see that? It looks like a remote.
Yep.
And if you really want a huge remote that can control all your devices, you can go in there and I'm trying to hold this so you guys can see it.
Well, that's a neat function. That's different.
You can do that. Now,
so there's close to like 5 hours worth of video.
Yes. It doesn't have the 10-hour battery life that the iPad has.
It doesn't.
But it's close.
So it's 5 hours, which I think is enough.
Let me ask you another question. This, to me, you know, it's actually lighter than the iPad.
Yes.
But because it's smaller, it feels heavier.
It does. I wrote down it felt heavy to me, but I think that's just because I was anticipating it being lighter because it is so tiny.
But it's pretty beefy.
It's sturdy.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's not
it has not missed a meal.
Right, right. So, I think if you are interested in an iPad, don't want to spend the money.
This has a camera, too.
It does have a camera, yeah, and such. So you can take photos and do video sharing and what have you. It's not as easy to use, and this is probably true for a lot of these. It's not as easy to use as an iPad.
It's not. It's not.
I don't think the screen is quite as nice as an iPad. But at the same time, it's half the price.
It's half the price. So I think if you're looking
or you
at
can get
that
the Amazon one, which is a third of the price.
Right. And that one's just free.
Would you get this?
I would rather have the iPad. The screen just didn't do it for me. And it actually took me just longer than I would like. Since I would just be using this primarily for entertainment, for just kind of for fun. I want it to be as easy as possible. And this one took me a little longer to get used to. But if you like being able to customize your home screen, your apps, what you're using, I think this is great. And it's actually a good price point.
Yeah, I go the other way. I would actually rather have this than an iPad.
Okay.
I like the size of it better.
Sure.
You can plug an SD card into it for expansion, so you've got a lot more memory that you can plug in there.
Okay.
I like how customizable it is. I like the calendar app better because it's not the stock one. I put a new calendar app on here. I put a new email app on here.
This is Ben's tablet.
I like how customizable it is. So if you're kind of a techie guy or a geeky guy and you don't mind customizing and getting your hands dirty a little bit, I think you'd be happier with an Android tablet.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anything else to say?
You know what? No. I mean, I thought it was just fine. It was fine. I'm worried it might be masquerading as a tablet when in fact it might be just kind of like a giant remote.
It definitely is
I am worried
remote.
about that. But I thought it was fine. It's not for me, but Ben really liked it.
There you go. And we have another segment coming up right after this, so please stay tuned. And we're back, and in the second segment today, we're going to look at this little guy, which is called the HandStand. We said that at the same time. And this is a case for your iPad. This one's for the iPad 1. They have them for the 2 as well.
They do. They're about $50.
Yeah, it's made in the USA from recyclable materials. And the idea is you take your handy-dandy iPad, like this guy here. It pops in like so.
Easy to put on.
Very easy to put on, take off. And then it's got a...
It's sort of like it's a stretchy band.
Yeah, like an elastic band.
Goes over the back of your hand, kind of just below your knuckles, or covers your knuckles, so that you can hold the iPad comfortably.
Now you can play ping pong with your iPad.
All day long. Just
and actually, it's sturdy. Right. I mean, it's not going anywhere.
That was my point. I mean, because you said it's easy to take it off, and I'm not sure about that because you can knock into something, you can bump something. Anywhere.
And it actually, what I like about this is it actually, as well as being a way to hold your iPad, if you're, walking around, if you're doing data entry,
inventory,
if you're on the subway or something and you want to, be able to keep hold of it. It also, this rubber casing provides, I mean, you can bump this around.
Totally. I think I
wouldn't do this if it wasn't...
If it wasn't my iPad. No, I'm kidding. But I actually thought, as far as protection goes, that surprised me, because I thought just kind of the shtick was that it fuses to your hand and becomes part of your body, which is true. After a while, I mean, you kind of forget
put it further on your arm like this, and now it's the world's largest watch.
It's a corsage.
What time is
for
it,
a geek? I don't know.
Holy cow! I can tell you the time. I can tell you the weather.
It's nerd 30. So, but after a while, honestly, you kind of forget that it's. He's gonna be laughing about that in like an hour.
That's when I'll get it.
Right. You kind of forget that it is attached to your hand. It kind of all becomes one. So it is fairly comfortable. And you go to make a gesture and
you accidentally whack someone schmook in the head.
So if you're wearing this all day, I think for a teacher, maybe a doctor.
Yeah. I don't know that you wear this all day.
You might wear it all day.
Unless you could affix it somewhere else.
All day. It's actually comfortable.
It also has this sort of lump that protrudes that is designed so that when you put it like this, it's at a typeable angle.
Right. It forms a small stand that is not a handstand. It's just a stand.
So that's all the pros. Let's now talk about what we didn't like about it. Heather?
I didn't like that, this part to me, the part where you put your fingers over it wasn't comfortable for me, but I think that's just because my hands are small.
Right.
So for me,
and they've got that bit there so that you can prop it up.
Right. But and that's where your hand has to cover that part. It can't go the other way because it'll hit your wrist, right? I tried.
Yeah, I didn't mind it for me because it felt like it's something you could sort of grab onto.
Yeah, kind of. And then the other con for me would be the price. It's $50, and I don't know that I need that for
more expensive by about $20.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
For sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can find
it's made
similar.
in the USA. You know,
made in the US,
the
which is great.
problem is maybe that we're so used to Chinese knockoff products and what have you. This thing's made in Portland.
It's definitely more expensive than what you're used to. It is a high quality product though, so it's not as if you're paying for
recycled,
something.
It's green. Maybe it's worth it.
100% recycled resin.
Yeah.
So, just from, if I were ordering this $50 and I don't particularly need something where I'm going to be holding it in my hand for hours at a time.
Right.
So for me, I guess I'm not the target user, but, as far as just a case for protecting your iPad, it's nice.
Unless we get like pink stuff in, you're never the target.
This comes in pink, but that's not true, Ben. I like other colors like purple. No. So it comes in pink, white, black. So, if you need a pink one, you can get a pink one. If that's what does it for you.
Other than the price, the only thing that I really didn't like so much on this guy was I like my cases to be like uber functional, and I want a case that gives me a way to prop this up in like movie mode.
Right.
So I was hoping there would be like something you could put on here to flip down.
It's just a HandStand.
And have it stand up like that as well.
Right.
Okay? It'll stand up like this if I rotate that properly.
Right.
So
but that only gives you one option as far as viewing.
I wanted this mode as well.
Okay.
So if they could put something else that would do this, then quite frankly that might be worth another $5 to me.
If Ben can't use it on the airplane, he's not going to buy it. That's the way it is.
I use these on the airplane a lot.
Right. No, I think most people do. So I get it.
That is the HandStand iPad case. A very cool case. Maybe a little pricey, but good functionality if you like to hold it in your hand a lot.
Right.
That's all the time we have for this week. I'm sorry, was there anything else you wanted to say about it?
No, that was it. It can go landscape, portrait. Did we mention that? I mean, we showed it. But
yeah, it flips all the way around.
Right.
Okay. So let us know what you think. Is that too much money for an iPad case of this kind? Or, is this a level of functionality and protection
worth it?
Yeah. www.neo-fight.tv is where to go to leave us a comment, or go to our Facebook page.
Yeah.
www.facebook.com/neophyte. And you can be entered to win some of the stuff, like perhaps this particular case.
Right.
And if you happen to have an extra 30 seconds,
take a look at this.
If you need to make recordings of your computer screen, there's no better tool than Camtasia from TechSmith. In fact, you're watching a screen recording of this video right now.
Camtasia can record your screen, your webcam, and high-quality audio at the same time. It's perfect for training, presentations, podcasts, or any time you need to show what's going on your computer.
Camtasia is easy to use, but it's also extremely powerful. You can turn your screen recordings into high-quality polished video in no time and share them with the world.
And Camtasia is available for the Mac and PCs. If you need to make screen recordings to educate, train, or sell, there's no better tool than Camtasia from TechSmith.